Well, here we go. One last glimpse of the lineups here in the series for Game 3. It comes down to this one. Who will it be? Will it be Twisted Minds to go ahead and keep up at the top of the standings, or will we see Aurora get one under the belt here in Game 3? You guys can let us know in the comments who you think it's going to be. Is going to be Twisted Minds or Aurora? We jump into the land of Dawn for this one. And once again, we've asked for it through the drafts leading into it. I would say we got it for this one. Now, looking into it in the early game, that's where things have started in the case where, you know, if Twisted Minds can get an early rotation going, that's going to work for their lineup here.
I think typically of the red side, we're going to see Twisted Minds go into an invade. But since Light and Yue were aggressive with their trading at the center of the map, Light was able to make the most out of the concussive blast. We might not see the... Yeah, we're not going to see the Golem invade after the Slitho Wander, potentially, but that's usually one of the MOs of Twisted Minds when they're on the red side. So for Aurora... Yeah, no, they're pushing them back. They're not allowing the invade to happen. This is them respecting Twisted Minds' tendencies all throughout Season 16.
Yeah. It allows you also, again, to see how important those first, under the minute are too. Like in these early rotations, if you get a little bit of an advantage, especially in the mid lane, you can secure yourself easier time in the rotation. But also part of that, so we're gonna jump in.
Looking for some burst. Kaloy gets that wall up between Light and Yue, putting Light on third of his health.
Yeah, a little trade win there for Aurora, but for Twisted Minds. But the good thing is Light didn't pop his Revitalize, while Twisted Minds are doing a good job of making sure that they just supplement MP the King well. He's about to hit level 4. He's been undisturbed. It's been a lot of heavy lifting from Kaloy and Sean to provide him space, and that's exactly what you need to see from Twisted Minds with the lineup that they brought to the table.
I think part of this too is this will actually work really well together. The Kukuro with the Harith. Itemization-wise too, for most part, Sean has been going that Genius Wand first item. I'm assuming he's going to do the same thing here, which will then help Nasha, even in the early fights, if Nasha decides to join them, because you're almost going to be forced to, in a sense, like you always have to play that, do I just sit in the lane or do I follow through with Domin Kite eventually when he spears in?
Aurora needs to be careful here, because if they lose this turtle, Twisted Minds are going to continue the fight and try to invade the purple ball.
Lansu comes in, sends a flicker, and that's a lot of damage already on Aurora, but Kaloy gets taken down. The stun, Yue gets the takedown as well. Demon Kite takes the turtle. AOG, MP the King gets cut. It's all Aurora.
Light with the taunt onto 2 and the follow-up by the rest of Aurora. Lansu made the right decision to flicker forward and take that fight. Twisted Minds were just straight up countered by Light.
Oof. And with that, I mean, a big lead this early on off of that one fight, 2,000 ahead. And they'll continue to put pressure. You can see Aurora is going to go ahead and play into that. It's just tough because even Twisted, when, you were just saying it before that fight broke out, like if they decide to fight that and they lose it, that's going to be tough for them. So now Aurora with this bit of an advantage will work into it. We're going to look at the replay here, though, brought to us, of course, by Infinix. And we jump into here. This is what we're talking about. The taunt, the unbreakable, and then the setup to follow there was just so much to deal with for Twisted, and even so, this AOG, after getting that level 4, catches in, gets a double for Yue, by the way.
Edward even got that Land Shaker stun off onto MP the King at the perfect timing. That was just everything aligning perfectly for Aurora, while Twisted, I think that's something that Lansu and Kaloy need to talk about a little bit more, whether or not Light has that taunt. Because yes, you are encouraged to initiate first Twisted through the Phobias, but now considering that you lost the first big fight, you're going to have to think twice about it, and then check if Light has that taunt, because that's the biggest thing to stop your tempo of being able to just jump around in people's heads. Because now with the 2.4k gold lead, there's a high chance that if this Phobias gets caught quick, before he can actually get up in the air and start being a nuisance to Aurora, he's just going to get blasted and bursted down.
They got half the combo down at least, because Lansu went all in. Lansu used his flicker, and they could have sworn they were going to wipe out Aurora, but again, it was stopped dead in its tracks. Punished hard.
Yeah, part of this too is just the fact that Yue gets an early double kill, gives them the Sky Piercer much faster, and that's something that Twisted will have to worry about as they approach some of these next fights here. Second turtle's up. Aurora trying to fight for control. This one's a little bit different, though, for Twisted Minds. They might just back off. It looks like MP's going to go just grab his buff instead. Aurora has complete control, and this is the right choice for Twisted, because if they did lose another fight around this one, honestly, it would be almost too much to come back to.
Yeah, the problem right now though for Twisted Minds is it's a slower tempo in the sense that, okay, maybe it could just mean a little bit more farm time for Nausea and MP the King, but then you're up against a lineup that scales up very quickly. By minute 7, Aurora are gonna be encouraged to just, take every fight that they can have. They can be a little bit messy with it because they already have the right amount of items and advantage.
Oh, there's a flicker and the full combo. Demon Kite lives. Oh my God, survives.
Oh, Demon Kite.
Demon Kite might even take down Sean. Sean gets away, but just barely.
Oh, well played. Well
Demon
played.
Kite with an SOD from out of nowhere.
You don't mess with my Kite brother.
Kite Bros going up on the highlight reel for Aurora. You can't blame Sean for wanting to get that kill. He almost took Demon Kite down, but he had Thorned Rose just in time back to get out of the map. High frame up, and he wins the trade.
Edward. Lansu, he can smell it. Edward dashing out of range. Lansu uses the flicker.
Greedy.
Fails to get the kill, and now here comes Demon Kite Yue to punish. Gets that Infernal Pursuit on, but there might be too much damage. Lansu
Oh no.
does not want to go in, and in comes the combo. Demon Kite survives again, cheating death.
How many times is he going to do this? On the Lancelot, they bought so much time in a push-down bot.
Oh man, the smiling demon who cheated death twice. That's gonna go into every Clippers highlight reel for week 3, day 1.
The Undying.
Yeah, I get to be in clips.
The Undying Demon Kite right now, man. Again, this is why the Lancelot's so good. Gives you maybe a little bit too good,
You
actually.
can call him the unkillable Demon King.
That's why I said the Undying, man.
I don't think we can.
No.
That's why I said the Undying
Just
Demon
can't
Kite.
be killed. Is what I'm saying, Turtle.
He's
Now
a-
less than half health.
Uh-oh.
Light gets a taunt. Pops to revitalize all 3.
Oh.
Turtles go over to Aurora. They get MP the King down, slaying him. Now, and some damage onto Lansu. Lansu might
Lansu?
not survive the taunt. Pins him down, serves up a kill to Yue.
Twisted Minds are making a lot of tilted mistakes at this point. A little bit too eager. Nausea, you should not be taking this fight, dude.
Nausea gets hit with that Spear of Misery. Demon Kite pushing off of camera. Light looking for that taunt. Aurora just won the turret.
Yeah, they'll get the turret. They've shifted into full gear now for Aurora. Just taking fight after fight, win after win across the map. Got themselves a 7,000 gold lead. They've got all the turtles and everything else. So they're set up perfectly. Oh no, mid.
There's the cleanse. Keeping Sean alive. Spends the flicker too. Close call.
That's tough, man.
It has gotten out of hand. I mean, we did talk about it earlier. Minute 7, minute 6 leading up to it. Exactly at that moment, Aurora, as we said, they're just taking fights.
MP gets taunted by Light, but Light gets traded out for underneath tier 2. I'll take that trade any day.
We're seeing a bunch of tilted minds at this point. It's tough for Twisted. They're trying to farm, they're trying to find space in the map, but then they made too many errors, too many quick, sudden judgment calls to try and get kills, to try and crawl back, that Aurora were just able to turn things around. It's going to be one of the toughest comebacks for Twisted if they can pull it off, because Aurora have just ran away with it at this point.
That's tough because you're sitting here thinking, all right, Twisted, what can they do to get this game back under control? Because this is a massive deficit they're working against. And even then, Nausea hasn't been a part of anything, really. He's just been farming up as to do what he can do. But it's been completely just kind of shut down in a way where we haven't seen that Harith in action yet. And maybe it's going to be some time, because looking at the items here, you can see, is he in fighting form? He's got a Feather in Heaven and Starlium Scythe, but that's about it. That's not really enough to pump out the damage alongside what the rest of the team has to win any of these fights against Aurora.
Yeah, and Aurora are going to be able to take this Lord without a problem. Twisted Minds, Nausea doesn't have the items. He's not built to fight because the other members aren't built to fight. Wait, SOD? Nope, they're...
Kite pressed it.
Yeah. Okay, good zone out. No orange buff here for Twisted. They're going to be able to push a tower in the bottom lane, but they're going to lose tower in the mid.
Oh, yeah, they'll lose that one. Lord making its way down bottom. These holy shields.
Hold on.
Do they pop? Okay, it doesn't pop just yet.
DK took it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, DK got it. So they'll line these waves up. With this kind of lead, Aurora can definitely go ahead and push into these base turrets. I think that's where we have to look at what's the probability here for Twisted Minds to actually defend against this massive deficit in terms of itemization. Are they actually able to hold on with this kind of lineup here?
You might be able to, considering that Aurora will want to take the best case scenario as possible when it comes to sieges. They don't often lose siege battles quickly for the opposing team to turn it around. So they're probably going to try and take down as much turrets as they can, but they're not going to try to end it just yet. If they do, that's because they were able to cash off someone on the side of Twisted who was overextending like this.
Demon Kite going hunting, flushing Kaloi out of that brush, and they isolate him, delaying his recall, with the Lord making it all the way to the turret, putting it at about half health.
Yeah, he's still staying down there, Kaloi. He might look for his own entry here on the backside.
AOG by Light catches two, forcing that
Kaloi.
forcing to purify out of Nosha. And here comes that big combo. Light gets compromised. It's taken down. Kaloi answers back in kind.
Oh, I stand corrected. Aurora slipped there a little bit. Light was a little bit too eager with that AOG. They forced a flicker out of Edward. And I thought that Aurora would have considered the possibility that Kaloi wouldn't need to recall home.
Yeah.
He just stopped his recall, walked back to where he came from, was able to cash Yua, which forced Aurora to just scramble. They're gonna have to respect the capability of Twisted Minds to make a comeback. Again, it's gonna take a long time. It's a 10,000 gold lead. Aurora are getting closer to the 40,000 threshold, while Aurora haven't crossed the 10,000 yet. That usually means Twisted Minds have a massive item and damage and defense disadvantage that Aurora can just throw bodies at.
One of the main reasons why that happened is they were fighting under an inhibitor. There's a lot of free damage from Twisted Minds base that led to that overextension. But wait, Edward
do they want to fight
have
this?
the ult here. Oh, preempt! MP the King's Traceless taking him down. Free pickle for Aurora.
Man, Light jumped in. I was like, all right, PAOGs. But then they knew that they could catch up to MP the King off of that. So this might have just given them the angle to push into some of these base turrets here, knowing that Twisted is down one member.
Mad zoning. Sean looking to clear some bodies, dealing a lot of damage to Aurora, but Aurora's not having any of it. Kaloi with just 2 or 3 basic attacks from Doming Kite gets put down a peg.
Yeah, Sean doesn't have enough damage. Nosha built the Holy Crystal, but at this point it's still not going to be enough. Too massive is the lead of Aurora. Not impossible, but again, way too difficult for Twisted to make a comeback. Hail Mary? SOD maybe? No, wait, no. Doming Kite is the one with the SOD, so they're not. Yeah.
It's just it's more or less the same, man. You got to make a play. You got to make a miracle play happen.
That was devious. What Aurora overcommitted to at the bottom lane was setting up for a free Lord. Anyways, they catch one. Again, it's MP.
Sir, you did not need to be there at that moment. You saw the opposing team just got the Lord which spawned on the side of where your orange buff was. I think Twisted Minds have crumbled here, yes.
I think you were right earlier, man. They're tilted.
Should have. No, he didn't even click it.
Yeah.
He was just blindside. He was tunnel vision to take in his buff.
Again, I agree with Redmar. You don't have to be there, you know?
This is going to be... Could be it. Could be. I think this is going to be the last siege. Slow push up top. They're going to let the minion waves push the top and the middle minion wave. Yep, they don't need to go fast with it. They're going to let bottom push first. They're going to fight through there. Minions will come in through mid. Top side's going to come in. Endable here for Aurora.
There we go. Marching in the base with the Lord. Twisted on the defense.
That's the Ionic Pulse thrown out. Traction towards them, forcing Nosha to drop that Zaman Force. And they clear out that mid lane inhibitor. Top up next. Aurora, about 15,000 gold up. Literally. Fighting against Twisted Minds, who seem to be stuck in the Silver Age. They're facing off swords with RPG. Next up is the base. AOG full combo. They're trying to clear him out, but the base is in jeopardy. Down goes FB the King, and the base follows next.